Hi, my name is Jeff Allen, and I have a long history of working in control language, technical writing, machine translation, translation memory speech systems. Worked for a lot of different companies in that field, very specific ones, and currently at SAP, SAP France, as a key expert advisor in the central user assistance and translation departments. I've been at SAP for 16 years, though I worked 40 years in a lot of companies, and every single day at SAP is a new day. So everything I'm working on, I've been working on for so many years, and I think that the important thing is to find things that motivate. And I'm not saying that everything has been, every job I've ever had has been motivating every single day, but I turn it into a motivating thing. And that's a technique, that's a tactic to be able to like what you do. So that's important for people to do, is not everybody likes to do what they do every day. So you have to find things that motivate to want to be doing that every single morning when you get up. Data. Everyone's struggling with finding that good data, and some have it and a lot don't. There was a presentation last week in Paris of a company that has 20, 30 years of data, of translation data, so they've built a translation engine that works really well on that. But those that don't have the data are struggling with it, and we see that also for like less commonly spoken languages. The problem is there isn't enough data. So if you don't have the data at all, then you can't build a machine to replicate it. And you don't have enough good data. If you're scraping the web and using all the errors in the web, you're going to reproduce those errors in all of the translations or the natural language generation when you want. You're going to reproduce some errors. I would say communication is one of the things that everyone needs it, and it's everywhere. It's like music. Music, it applies to everyone. So communication applies to any single role you've got. It's a transversal type of role, and that's an advantage to be able to go into different domains, sizes of companies. You'll be useful in some place, and that will turn into another opportunity somewhere. In my division, one of the highlights we've been seeing in that whole division is the compliance factor in translation for the tax, all the taxes and all that. And that's been a highlight for the past 2 years. So that's one thing our company is actually focusing on. But compliance, all the things that we just saw in this conference this afternoon, legal, copyright and all that is an important thing. And you've got a lot of regulatory affairs, you've got a lot of types of standards and protocols that you have to follow. And those are usually, they're well documented, you can actually track it and follow it. And that's a good thing. It's not too subjective, it's quite objective. And that's an advantage to be able to implement content creation or translation across those industries. Then I would say get a subject matter, focus on the subject matter, because I've been able to do that throughout my career, is change to a completely different field, went from telecom to mining equipment to automotive to finance. And when I come in, I learn that topic really well, and within 1 or 2 years, I can actually give training on it. And the same things for content creation, for authoring, for translation. Once you know the subject matter, you become a subject matter expert, you are an invaluable asset for that. So latching on to finding one of those or two of those, not trying to be too if you got too many fields, then people don't know what you're focusing on. I'm doing that right now. I'm not going to share about the patents I'm working on, but there's a lot in text to speech and speech to text. So it can be video platforms. You can have content on videos that we can convert into text and reuse that, index it. And so you've got speech to text and you've got text to speech avatars right now. Right now, they're creating an avatar for me so that my training courses, I'll have to just create the text and my avatar of me will actually be speaking it. So those are a couple examples of those types of, how to use that. And it's with systems that are built with generative AI to do that. So. And the important thing with Avatar, I've done a lot of voiceovers. The problem with the voiceover is that when you do it, you have to do it in one context, you have to do everything. You have to finish it. And sometimes it can be 3 hours of recording, which means 10 hours of recording to get those 3 hours of text. And you can hear your voice getting tired. If tomorrow, one phrase they want to change it, I've got to redo everything. Or I have to find pieces within the voiceover I did and try to match it. With an avatar and in the speech to text, you don't need text to speech, you don't have to do that. It's always going to be the same voice. So You can change the text. It's going to reproduce the same voice for that, and you don't have to have somebody re-record it. There's an advantage to that. That's a tough question because there are so many. I would say that people, well, machine translation or language generation, it could be monolingual, it could be multilingual, okay, and it can be speech, it can be text. Getting into being able to deal with any type of these AI prompters, playing with them, rather than resisting them. Because the problem of the resistance, let's say that one of the sentences that is found out that people say is AI won't replace you. Someone using AI will replace you. And it comes to that. It's finding it as a tool, make it as a tool, and then you're able to you can say that you've upskilled yourself in that, and you can use it as a productivity tool. But if you're fearful that it's going to replace you, you will be replaced in the end. And that's not to, people, a lot of things are built on fear, but I see all these are tools. They're tools. It's just like having, back many years ago, we had pen and paper, then we had the typewriter, then we had the computer and the fax machine. They were just all tools to do. They didn't replace people. They just made you do more for the time you've got to create. You can create more volume, what you've got is using these tools. So.